Hey guys, got another one for you. So this, I thought like I would be more excited in prior videos. This is like melt your face, ridiculous, crazy news that just, we haven't even begun to see this thing freaking take off yet. And okay, let me explain. And I apologize, I'm just leaving work, driving home, I got a little bit of education here. And I gotta get this out to you guys. There's a company known as Greyscale, okay? And a lot of you that may be in this space have heard of this company. Greyscale, going into pre-Bitcoin ETF approvals, had about over 600,000 Bitcoin within their coffers. So they were basically like an ETF by proxy, right? They had a bunch of it, they just didn't have the actual ETF approval from the SEC. However, when the approvals occurred, this was one of the companies that actually were able to say, hey, we also want this approval for a Bitcoin ETF, spot, meaning holding it. They got the approval January 10th with the rest of that pile of 9 or whatever it was companies, a lot of them. And what happened was they were one of the few companies that refused to lower their fees. And so as asset managers, it was a competition. And most companies know this, right? Your fees, if they're lower, you're gonna attract more people, right, to invest in your fund. So if there's several funds to choose from, you want one that's going to take the least amount of money from you. GBTC chose not to. They had a 1.5%, I believe, rate, which is extremely high because a lot of people were going like much lower, 50 basis points, or they were much lower. Anyway, and they even saw this competition leading up to, and then the approval itself, people were lowering their fees, trying to attract more buyers into their funds. Fast forward to just recently, they had a huge outflow of people. Basically, like, you know what, screw this. They took the tax hit and they cashed out. Well, what we were seeing was people were cashing out of this Greyscale fund. They were taking their Bitcoin and then rolling it into other funds. So we had these huge, even though we had big inflows into like Bitcoin, Fidelity, Bitcoin, BlackRock funds, this fund was losing money because they wouldn't lower their fees. And so who in the right mind is going to like choose to take a higher fee? So that's why the money comes from the least to the, anyway, that decision was made by tons of people. Well, they're like, holy crap, like we've lost 40% of our funds here. We should probably, and again, I don't know the exact numbers off the hand, but we should probably stop the bleeding, right? So what they did was they created a new fund. And what this fund is basically, instead of that 1.5% fee, let's say you had a round number of $10,000, right? And they basically took that fund, and I didn't even know they could even do this. They took the fund, cut it in half. They put about half of that fund left it into GBTC, which is the original fund, and they took the other half, put it into another fund with a much lower fee. And so what that did was we saw overnight, they had a drastic 10x decrease of the amount of outflows or people selling. They stopped the bleeding. Great. You guys, I don't know if you realize, with no selling going on now, because that was a main source of funds hitting the market. Yes, there's people who have been holding bags for years and years, but that leak being plugged, oh my gosh. We had $1 billion enter the market in a single day. I don't even know how to be more bullish, to be more ecstatic about this market. This market cap is peanuts compared to what it's going to be. We're less than, $1 trillion, one and some change. I don't even know what the numbers are right now, but it is going to go insanely higher. I mean, at least a 10x. And so again, if you don't have any Bitcoin, make your first goal of anything in the crypto market. Again, I'm not a financial planner, but this is what I'm doing. Make sure your goal, you get at least 0.01 Bitcoin. That is 1/100th of a Bitcoin, right? Which is equals to 1 million Satoshis. Get your hands on some Bitcoin, you guys. Do it for you, your family, your friends, your future, all that. I don't want to talk price predictions, but there's even an individual out there that's price prediction of $1 million, you guys. $1 million this cycle. Could you even imagine, like, it's incomprehensible how fast this is going to go up. So we are basically in the cockpit of the race car, and it's getting fueled up. The engine's started, right? It's kind of idling. People are starting to get on board. They got their helmet on, their seat belts attached, and we're ready to like go out of the pits. Like, we're gonna literally hit this racetrack. Who knows how high this price can go, you guys, this cycle. It's pretty exciting to think about, though. And being in this space for so long, I have just seen things and heard things that were like, you know, you hear these crazy lofty, oh, $1 million. Well, you guys, the math, it might actually do it. It might actually hit that. And so the gentleman I was thinking, is Samson Mao is his name. Samson Mao predicted that this cycle we could hit $1 million. If it doesn't happen, am I going to be upset? Absolutely not. Like, do I think it will hit $1 million someday? I'd bet a Bitcoin on it. I would bet a Bitcoin by 2030 easy, we're going to be at $1 million. If we don't hit $1 million before that, I'll be absolutely shocked. All right, guys, I'm going to end it there. If you like this type of content, or even just exuberant outflowing of my passion for this space, because it can change your life, and it already has mine, I'm asking that you guys do the same thing. Your future self will not do anything but praise you and thank you. And so again, be humble. If you can, educate friends, set them this way. Let's get the conversation going in the comments below. Like and subscribe. All right, guys, I appreciate you, and I really look forward to just constantly like educating and updating and stuff. All right, guys, chat soon. Bye bye.